evening, boys. I'm recording this right now. The boys are live for the MLB show. It's Take It to the Bank, the NASCAR outright show for the Food City 500 at Bristol later on this weekend. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and use the code NASCAR is back for a 1-week free trial at nukethehouse.com. I'm riding solo tonight, boys. Coop still dealing with a lot of stuff at home. Adam has to work tonight. So I'm riding solo, which is fine. First, let's talk about the weekend. Now, you guys know here, I don't hide from anything. I tell the truth to a fault. It's part of the reason why I constantly get in trouble on social media, because other people don't. So when things are going good, we're going to talk about it. But here's the thing. When things are going bad, we're still going to talk about it. Because when you win long term, you have nothing to hide. So the last couple of weeks have been absolutely brutal. Third week in a row. We are finding ways to lose races that are just incredible. A lug nut flips the field on Sunday. We're on Ryan Blaney at 7.5 to 1. We're on Bubba Wallace top 5 at 3 to 1. We have one guy running in the top 6 to hit the top 10 at 8 to 1. We have another guy at that point in time running 11th at 8 to 1 to hit the top 10. The problem is when cautions come out, they could flip a field. And unfortunately, and I don't agree with crew chiefs, but when you short pit, you're put into a situation where if a caution falls at the right time, your day is basically dead. Unless somehow that happens again. And it never happened again. So all the fastest cars in the race that we were on had to fight their way back to the front. And they just never got back in time. There just wasn't enough time. But in saying that, Ryan Blaney, like we spoke about, the fastest guy on track for over a month, knew he would be a lightning bolt again. He was the best car in the race. Now, granted, I know Byron led a kajillion laps, but he was also in clean air and never looked back. Ryan Blaney drove to the front multiple times. He's that car, man, it's an absolute lightning bolt right now. It's crazy how fast that car is. And we actually got up there. We were on him at just under 8 to 1. We bet him 3 times during the race with 8-9 laps to go. Guess who's in front? Ryan Blaney, fastest guy on track. We probably weren't going to hit many props because the field flipped, but we were going to make, 5 to 6 units in the race. Would have been fine. Because we were on Ryan Blaney at just under 8 to 1. We hit him again at 4 to 1. We hit him again at 2 to 1. And then we hit him like right before that caution came out at like even money, because nobody was catching him unless there was a caution. The race was over. He was gone. And it's just another Sunday that doesn't go our way. Saturday for Xfinity, we're on a guy that closed 6 to 1 at just under 20 to 1. All he has to do is win the race. Fastest guy on the track by a country mile. Quite literally, nobody was on Justin Allgaier's planet. and they go down pit road, and the tire guy falls, drops the gun. Actually, the tire guy drops the gun, goes to pick up the gun, falls over the gun, hits the ground, gets up, runs around the car, changes the tire, goes back out. We're dead. Never had enough time to get back to the front. I don't know what else to do right now other than get us on the best cars at great prices. I've done that 3 weeks in a row. We've been on the fastest cars every race. 8 races straight. Or 7 races straight. But it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Right now, the NASCAR gods want me living in a tent. So I don't know what else we could do, boys, but just keep swinging. And it sucks, man. It sucks to lose money. First of all, I've punted probably $50,000 in the last 3 weeks. Probably. I don't know what I lost on Sunday because I haven't done the math yet. I'll do it tomorrow. But my guess is I'm either even on the year right now or I'm down on the year. And if I am down on the year, it will be the first time I've been down on the year in the month of April since 2013. All we could do is keep swinging because we're on the right side. We're on the fastest cars. We are winning the race and finding insane ways to lose. A lug nut cost me $20,000. A guy falling down and a lug nut on Sunday probably cost me $20,000 this weekend. I'll know tomorrow, but I'm guessing that's probably where I'm at. All we could do is keep swinging, gang. I know it's frustrating because we were up 50 units on the year in 2025 3 weeks ago. And now we're even or slightly down. But we should have won 6 out of the 7 races. One race I was on the wrong side, and I was on the wrong side. Other than that, we should have hit. We had hit prior to this run, we hit 7 races in a row. We should right now be 13 for our last 14. And I'm even on the year. At best, probably. Something's got to change because it's not like we're not on the right side. And anybody that's been getting their ass kicked right now, I apologize. I don't know what else to do other than put us on the best cars in the race at great prices. I don't know what else we could do. It's worked for 16 years of my life. So I'm just going to keep doing it. We'll get right. Sucks right now. We'll get right. Now, this happened last year. You guys know I made 58 units in January. In February, March, and April, I punted it all back again, the same 3 months. And, well, we're not in May yet, but I somehow managed to do it in, oh yeah, we are in April. Yeah. So February, March, and April. Yeah. Congratulations, Keg. I did it again. Yeah. Okay. So I was dead even on the year, May 1st last year, and we made 270 units because once the volatility swung, we were off to the races. 2023, we made over 300 units. So am I worried? I'm not. Am I frustrated? I went to the doctor today. My blood pressure was 170 over 112. Yeah, I'm frustrated. My doc, my doctor asked me why, and I said, "Pull up a chair. Why don't you sit next to me and let me tell you about the last 3 weeks of my life?" So we're just going to keep doing what we've done for 6.5 years on this YouTube channel. And I'm going to try to forget about the last 3 weeks, and we're going to move on, and we're going to have a positive week. But we are not off to a great start in April, boys. And I don't run from it. I tell the truth. Always. Always. So we'll get right. All right, let's get into this race. We had to talk about it. That honestly, that was probably a therapy session more for me than you. So we're at Bristol. We were here twice last year. We were technically in 2022 and 2023. I think we were running the dirt race once a year, which is why we only have like real data for one race in 2022 and one race in 2023. It's a high bank half-mile track. Now, you guys know I'm not a big fan of this short track package. Not many people are. As a matter of fact, it's an unmitigated disaster. I don't care what anybody says. It's an unmitigated disaster. You can't make quality passes ever. I don't know how that changes. It's not going to change. I don't expect them to be able to make quality passes again. And I don't expect the leader of the race, once they get out on a restart, to get past on a green flag run. Now, I could be wrong. Lap traffic could come into play. But, when is enough enough? I mean, 7 of the last 8 winners at Bristol have started in the top 5. That is not a coincidence, right? Why? 6 of the last races have been in the next gen era. How are you feeling about the short track package? You like it? Me either. So the way I'm going to bet the race this week is I'm not making a bet until I know who's on the grid. We'll look at practice. We'll look at the grid. And we'll figure it out from there. But let's talk about the guys we think are going to be good. And more importantly, the people that we think will qualify well. So you guys know how I feel about this short track package in terms of speed. Last year, nobody was better in the short track package than Chris Bell, Chris Blaney, Chris Blaney. There isn't even a Chris Blaney. There's a Dave Blaney. There's a Ryan Blaney. Chris Bell, Ryan Blaney, and Chase Elliott. Those were the 3 strongest cars in the short track package for my money last year. And if you look at Martinsville, Chase Elliott was the 2nd fastest guy on the track. Chris Bell was the 5th fastest guy on the track. Ryan Blaney was like top 10-ish, but he started 32nd, and it's so hard to pass. He still drove up to 6th by the end of stage 2, though. Denny Hamlin, fastest guy on track. Actually, hang on 1 second. Let me check that. Bear with me for a second, boys. I just want to check one of the analytics real quick. Okay. If we take a look at Phoenix, also short track package. Chris Bell, fastest guy on track. Ryan Blaney, your third fastest guy on track. Where's Chase Elliott? 13th. Elliott was 13th. So I expect the three of them to be strong. They were very strong in the short track package a year ago. Chris Bell and Blaney have been good to start the year. So has Will Byron. Byron was second fastest at Phoenix. Josh Berry was tied for third with Ryan Blaney at Phoenix. Denny Hamlin, top 5 at both. He had top 5 speed at Phoenix. He was the fastest guy on track at Martinsville. Kyle Larson, 4th fastest at Martinsville. He was top 7 at Phoenix. So I think the people that have been good in the short track package for the last year and change are going to be very good. The problem is, I don't know how far back you can qualify and still win this race based on the ability to pass in this package and the fact that 7 of the last 8 winners here have started in the top 5, which is the reason why I don't want to bet anybody right now. I don't want to bet anybody until the grid is set. But I would like to try to figure out maybe for qualifying, maybe for most fastest laps, if we can get a good idea of who we think is going to start in those front 2 rows. Maybe I could see myself getting involved in those 2 markets. But I mean, I'm just gun shy, man. After the last 3 weeks, I'm very hesitant to hemorrhage any more money until we get right. But let's go and take a look at the odds. I'm looking at FanDuel right now. Can't look at a dozen books at one time, so we'll just look at FanDuel. Kyle Larson 5-1, Denny Hamlin 5-1, Chris Bell 6-1, Ryan Blaney 750. You know what's crazy? They just keep hanging Ryan Blaney at 8-1. Nobody's on the guy's planet. It's unbelievable. Now, I was so disgusted. I knew I wasn't betting anything this week. So I didn't even look to see what the odds opened at. He might have opened higher than that. But I think the price, obviously, Kyle Larson's going to be your favorite at most tracks. He's the best driver in the world, right? I get the price tag on him. Denny Hamlin, based on the short tracks this year, and based on the fact that he's won back-to-back weeks, how do you argue with that 5-1 number? That it's hard to argue with. Now, do I think that Denny should have won on Sunday? No. Do I think he had the car to win on Sunday? Not really. But he was still top 4 in speed. So outside of Las Vegas, Denny has been in the top 7 in speed at every oval we've been to this year. So it's Denny Hamlin. We know how good he is. So, but based on 2025, my guess is that the books hung him at 5-1 because he's won the last 2 weeks. But if I was setting the odds, I would have set him at 5-1 based on his speed in the short track package this year. He's fast. But he was just 10-1 this year. Should that number be cut in half? Probably not. Probably not. That said, when Denny Hamlin is fast, is he normally 5-6-1? He is, based on history, based on what we've seen the last 5 years. Yeah. So I guess I get the number. It's just very in your face, considering that we were just having the ability to bet him at 9-1 or 10-1 a week or two ago. You know what I mean? But you have to respect him. And Denny's going to qualify well here. So I get the price. Chris Bell, 6-1. Fastest guy at Phoenix. 5th fastest guy at Martinsville. Probably the single best car in the short track package last year. You're going to argue with the number? I can't. Ryan Blaney, I mean, do we even have to talk about him? The guy is doing everything he can to make sure my daughter's going to community college. But what are we supposed to do? Not bet the fastest guy on the track? I'm just going to keep betting the fastest guy on the track. 3rd fastest at Phoenix. Second best guy in the package in 2024. And about just outside the top 10 in speed at Martinsville. He's going to be a problem. He's going to be a problem. And when we look at some of the results for these guys, you know, the one thing I will say is that he's not great here. Last year, I mean, he finished 6th in September. And then in the spring race in 2024, he was on pole, but he finished 16th. And he finished stage 1 6th. And then he never even he wasn't even in the top 10 in stage 2. I have to go back and watch that race to see what happened. But even still, in 2023, he finished 22nd. 2022, he finished 30th. Has not been great here. But didn't I say that last week? if anybody listened to the Sirius XM show, which you guys could check out, some weeks it'll be 11 a.m., some weeks it'll be noon. Just keep that in mind. I said his past results at Darlington were good, but they weren't elite. It didn't matter. He is a lightning bolt, a rocket ship, and he found it. And he should have won that race again. He should have won 3 of the last 4 races. Maybe 4 of the last 5. I would have to go back. Should have won it. Was it Phoenix he should have won it? Homestead, Darlington. Yeah, I think it's 3. 3 of the last 4 he should have won. Maybe more. But I kind of feel like as long as he qualifies up front, because it's very hard to get to the lead, passing the leader. Now, people are going to be like, yeah, but hey, man, at Martinsville, he started 32nd and he drove up to 6th. So it's not like, what do you mean? It's not like you can't make passes. Yeah. When you're a lightning bolt, you could pass inferior competition. I think passing that guy in front, 2nd and 3rd, it's really hard to do. It really is. So I think it all depends on where he qualifies for me, much like pretty much everybody. But if he's up there, this is another week where it's current form versus past results. And at that point, I'm probably going to err on the side of last week. I'm back in the speed. He's got it in a big way. After him, Chase Elliott 9-1. He had top 13 speed at Phoenix. Second fastest last week or 2 weeks ago at Martinsville. He's got the 3rd best average. Oh, by the way, I should say also, Denny Hamlin has won 2 of the last 4 races at Bristol. 2 of the last 4. He's fast on short tracks this year. He's going to qualify well. I'm almost certain it's going to be a problem. Chase Elliott's got the 3rd best average finish. No win here. He's got 2 top 5s in his last 4 races. He's finished in the top 10 all 4 races. 2nd last year in the fall, 8th last year in the spring, 7th last year or 2023 fall, 2nd 2022 fall. So Chase Elliott's going to be real good. Where has he qualified the last 4 years? 10th, 5th, 7th, and 23rd. He's one of those guys that can qualify in the top 3 rows for sure. He's got some speed. And like I said, he's in my top 3 for cars on short track packages in 2024, no doubt. So 9-1, fair. Fair price for Chase. After Elliott, Will Byron at 12. Willie B, second fastest guy at Phoenix, 16th at Martinsville. He's got one top 5 in the last 4. He's got a couple top 10s. Average running position, 16th. Average speed rank at Bristol, 13th. Not ideal. But he's qualified in the top 3, 2 of the last 3 races. Could he find it? He could. I mean, the bottom line is we know that Will Byron is consistently one of the faster cars on track, right? I mean, I think we would all agree and feel comfortable saying that. 12 to 1. Fair. Do I think I'm going to bet him? There are other cars that I favor before him. Denny, Bell, Blaney, Elliott. But the price is fair. Chase Briscoe, 18 to 1. Let's take a look at Chase. About middle of the pack in terms of speed. But what I will say is that he did flash about top 5 speed in the fall race last year, which was the last time that we were at Bristol. But very up and down. 11th in speed, 26th in speed, 19th in speed, and then top 5. Past results. Middle of the pack. He basically has 1 top 10 and 3 top 20s at this track. But he has, see, now he's in a Toyota, right? And he's qualified inside the top 6 3 of the last 4 races here. When we're talking about people, 7 of the last 8 winners have started in the top 5 at Bristol. You know, makes you think a little bit, doesn't it? At 18 to 1, I get the price. We know he's a solid short track guy, although I would say he's probably a better flat short track guy than the bank that we have at Bristol. When I think of him, when I think of Cole Custer, when I think of those kind of guys, I think of short, flat tracks. So there is something to be said for where he's qualified, though. That's for sure. 18 to 1. I could see it. What's he doing this year in general in terms of speed? 21st in speed at Phoenix, 29th at Vegas, top 7 at Homestead, top 8 at Martinsville. Very hit or miss, but he's been better the last 2 weeks. Oh, what do you have at Darlington? 28th at Darlington. So he's been better 2 of the last 3 weeks. I probably would like him less if there wasn't a good shot that he qualifies in the first few rows based on what we've seen. After Briscoe, Ty Gibbs 22-1. I mean, come on, man. I can't bet Ty Gibbs. Just can't. Let's see where he's qualified. 13th, 19th, 8th, 25th. He's got 1 top 5 in the last 4 races, 2 top 10s, 3 top 20s. He has led 239 laps, though, which would put him 3rd, 4th in the last 4 races. He led 137 laps in the spring race in 2024, and he led 102 laps in 2023. That's actually pretty surprising. Here's my issue. 29th in speed at Phoenix. 34th at Vegas. 28th at Homestead. 6th at Martinsville, which, okay. 21st at Darlington. I mean, he's just not that fast. And I mean, you want to talk about something. You guys go look at his average, go look at where he's finished the last 14 races. You just heard where he is in terms of speed. He's the 8th choice to win this race at 22-1. What? He's very good at Bristol in the other series, for sure. And there is something to be said that he led over 100 laps in 2 of the last 4. But do you know how hard of a click it is to hit Ty Gibbs right now at 20-1? Now, you might find a better price out there. But boy, oh boy, that's a tough ask, boys. Let's see where he qualifies. I have a hard time seeing me hit the button, though. A real hard time. Keselowski, 28-1. He's top 10 in average finish the last 4 years, the last 4 races here. He's got a top 5, couple top 10s. finished third and eighth, two of the last three races. But first of all, Brad Keselowski sunk me like I haven't been sunk many weeks with that lug nut last week. Absolutely killed us. We're sailing. We're riding high today on this show. It's a celebration if that lug nut doesn't go. My issue is he's not carrying speed. Like, he was good on the long run at Darlington, as you would expect, because he's a veteran. First of all, Darlington is the toughest track on the circuit. It's always going to favor a veteran, especially one that could manage tires. Brad checks all those boxes. But he's not fast. The only reason he looked fast yesterday or on Sunday is because he had tires when other guys didn't. So you're inevitably going to drive your way slowly toward the front. But did he have even remotely race-winning speed? No, he did not. Could I hit the button at 28-1? No, I can't. And last year, he qualified 23rd and 17th. Can't do it. Ross Chastain and KB. What have these boys been doing this year? Chastain 12th in speed. KB 21st. I mean, the one thing I will say about Ross is he's basically had top 10 speed on every track this year. At least not counting road courses, because I'm not looking at any road courses right now. But basically on every oval but one, he's had top 10 speed. It's pretty good for Ross. What's he done here? 2 top 10s, 3 top 20s in his last 4. You want to know why I'm auto out on Ross Chastain this week? Because he never qualifies well. Historically, he's god awful at qualifying. For that reason, you could keep him. KB, man, it's so wild to think about Kyle Busch at Bristol and be like, But let's be honest about Kyle Busch, shall we? Where has he really looked good this year other than Coda? Like, he didn't look bad on Sunday. Again, veteran driver. Knows how to manage tires as well as just about anybody, right? So you would expect him to be good on Sunday. He was 10th in speed. Only other track, at least an oval, where he cracked inside the top 20 in speed was Phoenix. I don't know, man. Like, if Kyle Busch was at Hendrick, I'd bet him every fucking week. I mean, RCR just ain't it. What do you want me to tell you? Bubba Wallace, 32-1. God, Bubba killed me too on Sunday. We should have hit. We should have won. We should have cashed that Bubba over Chase Elliott at even money. We should have hit that top 5 at plus 320. We were on him at 24-1 to win the race. I mean, you could make the argument that until he really banged that wall, there weren't 3 faster cars on the track than Bubba Wallace. And I've been saying it week in and week out. 2311 is fast, man. They are fast. He wasn't great at Phoenix. Basically had like top 10 speed at Vegas, but top 5 at Homestead, top 3 at Martinsville. And that speed rating on Darlington is skewed because up until he had damage, up until he hit that wall, there weren't 3 faster cars on the track. I felt like it was really him, Reddick, Byron, and Blaney, and Denny. We won't know about Kyle Larson because, you know how that goes. Where has Bubba, what's he done? 1 top 5, 1 top 10, 2 top 20s. Basically started the last 3 races just inside the top 10. Close. I don't know what to make of Bubba this week. Here's what I will say. Do I think 32-1 is fair based on the speed he's flashing right now? Yes. Am I running to the window to bet him this week? No. Kind of feel like it's a wait and see on him. Maybe live if he's there. Josh Berry, same price as Bubba, 32-1. He's basically got 1 top 2 finish and 1 finish outside the top 24. That's what my guy's been doing. Now I have to go back and watch the March race, but I'm guessing he won on strategy, considering. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm dumb. He doesn't have a win. I'm looking at where he started, not where he finished. He finished 12th and 29th. Not great. He led 25 laps in the fall race last year, but that's because he started on the front row. He probably led the first 25 laps, if I had to guess. I mean, if we're just talking about speed, the price is fair. I mean, he is at least so far this year, top 10 in speed overall in the year. But am I running to the window for Berry? It would really depend on where he is on track. After Josh Berry, Christopher Buescher. Here's the thing about Roush, man. They're tied for 4th since 2025. Keselowski and Buescher both are tied for 4th in terms of the fastest guys at Bristol in the next gen era. It's Bell, it's Larson, it's Denny, and then it's Brad and Buescher. Buescher's pretty solid short track guy. But he did not look as good in terms of speed in 2024 in both those races as he did in 2022 and 2023. He's got one. So the three people that have won at Bristol in the Gen 7 era is Kyle Larson has one win, Chris Buescher has one win, Denny Hamlin's won the other 2. So Chris Buescher has 2 top 5s and 3 top 10s in 4 races. Finished 14th last year in the fall, 7th last year in the spring, 4th in 2023, and he won the 2022 race. So he's consistently gotten worse, to be fair. He's also hasn't qualified in the top 17 at Bristol. Could Roush show up? They could. I really think they're going to need to qualify well, though. That I'm not sure they could do. After Chris Buescher, we got Joey Logano at 32-1, Reddick at 33-1, Bowman at 44-1, and Preece at 44-1. All right, let's take a look at Logano. Joey's been dreadful in terms of speed. Dreadful. Hasn't been inside the top 18 in speed at any race at Bristol since 2022. That's not ideal. But he had top 6 speed at Phoenix, and he had top 7 speed at Martinsville. And what I do like about Joey and people like Joey and people like Brad, their crew chiefs won't think twice. If they don't think they have the car to get up there, they won't think twice about making a strategy call to get up there at the end when you would never expect them there and somehow pull it off. That's one thing that people like Keselowski and Joey Logano, even Ross Chastain, they have crew chiefs that will roll the dice when it's time to roll the dice, which I guess is good if you don't have it. I think it's a wait and see on Joey. I like his speed on short tracks this year. I don't like his speed over the last few years at Bristol specifically. Where is Joey on this chart? Wow, he is. Joey Logano doesn't have one top 20. He's finished 28th, 22nd, 34th, and 27th. Holy shit. Not ideal. Probably not going to be on Joey this week. Although he could show up because he does have speed on short tracks in 2025. Tyler Reddick. He has one finish inside the top 15. He's generally not a bad qualifier, and he hasn't qualified well here other than one race in his entire career. He's had just inside the top 10 speed on short tracks this year. Not feeling him. Alex Bowman and Ryan Preece. After those guys, I don't think that there is one person worth their salt that could probably legitimately win this race. So let's see what we got for those two guys. Bowman's got one top 5, two top 10s, three top 20s here. He was on pole in the fall race last year, but he started 29th in the spring race last year. He's actually started 2 of the last 4 races in first and third. That's not bad. He finished 9th in the fall, 4th in the spring. In 2022, he got into an accident, but he ran around in 6th all day when he started 3rd. What's he done on short tracks this year? You know what I will say about Alex Bowman at Bristol? He's getting faster every time. 15th in 2022, 13th in 2023, 11th in speed in 2024 spring, top 6 in speed in 2024 fall. Hasn't been very fast in the short track package this year, though, which is a little concerning. But here's what I will say. If he could somehow put it on pole or start in the top 3, he's done it half the races since 2022. He might be able to get out there and lead some laps and log most fastest laps. Do we have most fastest laps yet? that number's probably pretty big considering he's 44 to 1 to win the race. Ryan Preece, been okay on short tracks this year in terms of speed. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at in Bristol. He was 13th in 2022. No, am I? Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm looking at short tracks. God, what's wrong with me today? Yeah, he was top 13 in speed at Phoenix, top 22 in speed at Martinsville. But he's basically had just outside the top 10 in speed at Bristol in the next gen era. It's pretty good. And he's fast, man. Let me tell you something right now. I wasn't gonna. The last two bets I made before we went live on Sunday was Priest top 5 and top 10. Those were guaranteed to hit if he doesn't flip. If the field doesn't flip from Keselowski's lug nut, he was fast. He just couldn't get back up there. And shout out to Worm, who I think had him at like 60 to 1. What a call. He closed 20 to 1. Outside of that, boys, I don't really see a guy that could win. Maybe. Uh, I mean, Michael McDowell's actually pretty good here. But how's he been this year in general? The answer, not fast at all. At all. Tough to get there. Austin Cindric has been fast this year at 90 to 1, but not really on short tracks. He's been wicked, though. He's been pretty good on intermediates. Penske, just in general, doing the damn thing. Outside of that, boys, I don't see much. I don't see much. All right, we'll call it. Keep your head up, gang. It's got to turn for us at some point. I mean, when you're on the best cars to win the race and you're set up to make 20 units every weekend or every race, I shouldn't say. Volatility's got to swing back our way, right? Let me do we have MMA this week? Oh yeah, we got UFC 314. Big week. So Tommy and Johnny will tomorrow night Holden and Sean, I think, will be live for some NBA live betting. On Thursday night, Tommy and Johnny will do the MMA pod for the UFC 314. Thursday night, I'm going to try to get Chris Wormy to come on with Adam and I. I'll reach out to him again tomorrow to go over some props. The problem is this is a bad week because I'm not making a bet until I see the field. I think. Pretty sure. But we do have Friday night trucks this week. We got an Xfinity race on Saturday. Obviously, the MMA card. And then Sunday, we have the race. So we'll see you back here Thursday night for the NASCAR prop show for the Food City 500 at Bristol. Don't forget, boys, hit the like button. Huh? I don't ask for much, right? Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not a member, and you guys could use the promo code NASCAR is back for a 1-week free trial at nukethehouse.com. And I will see you guys Thursday. We're out. Later.